Hello, everyone. Thank you, Desktop Pilot Society, for letting me know I was still muted. Hey, welcome aboard Flying with Mike. Been wiped out most of the week, so I'm not used to these 4-day work weeks. So still trying to get back into the groove. We'll get in it. But we're sitting on the line. We're going to do a short flight. We're sitting in Marsh Harbour in the Bahamas. It's kind of one of those easternmost islands. And we're going to fly to a place many of you have heard. The Beach Boys had it, I believe, in many of their songs, I'm sure. Boca Raton, Florida. We're headed to where the money is. Where else would a Citation 10 be found? And I actually found this was a real world flight a couple of weeks ago. So I thought, hey, that's nice. A nice short over the, from the Bahamas to Florida. So we'll see. And that'll get us back a little bit into the groove of flying it. Don't expect a flawless flight. Hey, this is Flying with Mike. If we do a flight where it is perfect, the end of the world is coming. No, no, seriously. It would be a real miracle. So, but we're going to do our best. Like I said, last I checked, back in February, March timeframe, I believe is the last time we flew it. So yeah, there's a lot of rust on those wings. So we're going to kind of kick it off and see how we do. All right, so again, this is the default Citation 10. If you don't know what the aircraft is, hey, look to the engine. Many of them said that in different ways. They'll either be the X with the Citation or under it. But boy, what an airplane this was. Got a lot of pilots in trouble because it can break the speed of sound, although not rated to, and that's where they got into trouble. So, yeah. Yeah, they kind of frown on that. So anyway, we're going to have some fun. We're not going to bust the sound barrier. Sorry, folks. We're only going to be flying, I think, at 24,000 feet, somewhere in there. So like I said, a short flight. We'll be briefing it here momentarily. So let's crawl up in the cockpit and see what kind of damage we can do out of here. All right, we are powered off. We are X-Plane 12.4.2 in that release client. We have not delved into the 4.3 betas. Although, just something in the back of my head says, in the next few days, there'll either be another beta or a release client. We'll see. All right, so looks like, oh my gosh, this is a lot more. It is, it's a lot more aircraft. However, let's see what we can see in the back. A very well done cabin. Again, something many of us in past sims are like, why do you forget this? One company came in and poured all their efforts in eye candy in the cabins. Excuse me. But pretty much through performance and how the real aircraft flew, right out the window, maybe right out the jet engine exhaust. Only eye candy is all that they were after. And don't get me wrong, they were nice. But this is default. This comes when you buy X-Plane 12, you get this aircraft. It's not an add-on. It is right out of the box, updated with each of the betas and release clients. All right, so let's bring in Elevatech and talk about the flight real quick. All right, let me pull that away. So like I said, a pretty short hop. You can see we're up here on this island, Freeport on the other side. And we're just going to fly over here to Boca Raton. Look for the money. It's all over the place. So, all right, now let's get into some particulars, shall we? Today's flight's 42 minutes long, 190 miles. They're calling cost index 10. I can't remember if we put cost index in this plane or not. So bear with me. Like I said, it's been a while. They're calling 26,000. The real flight only 20,000. So we'll go where it if ATC pops in. 4,248 pounds of go-go juice and 1,800 pounds of payload. Shouldn't be a bad flight. So again, currently no ATC in the Florida area down here. I'm sure that could change. So we're hoping to get this flight off here real soon. All right. Buckle up, folks. Let's get ready. Let's first do the weight and balance. Bear with me. I'm getting another panel ready. There we go. All right. So let's go up here. Flight, weight and balance. And yeah, you're using it right out of the box. Today's flight is 8 people, 1,840 pounds. 1840. Okay, gave us 5 extra pounds. Okay, cool. All right, who over 8? Oh, that would be me. All right, kick the pilot off. No. 4,248 pounds of fuel. I'm going to keep it right where it's at. A little extra fuel won't hurt us. And it's just updating the aircraft with that data. So, and if you want to double check, you know, I know some of you are that inclined. Oh, it gave us it. We lost the 5 pounds. See, they got rid of me and we lost the 5 pounds. 49.98, so just shy 5,000 pounds. And we'll apply it again. Why does it do that? Did I change something? I just don't remember. Okay, so we're all set to go there. What's going on with my phone? Hang on a second. It's going a little wacko on me. Hang on. I'm going to go ahead and get it charging and taking care of the flight. Hang on. Turn the volume down. There we go. All right. I know we don't fly this plane a lot. I always say I ought to, as it is such a fun plane to fly, but there's a lot to it. I actually have a checklist. If you just Google Citation 10 checklist dash V2.03, hopefully that comes up for you. It's a really good, quick checklist. You'll say, no, it's not quick. Well, to me it is, because I like to go through. So, all right, so we have the documents on board. Takeoff brief, we just completed. Gear lever shows down. Circuit breakers, they're all over the place, but mainly they're all in. I don't think you can pull a breaker on this one. Let's just kind of hover. No, you can't. Okay, thank goodness. Austin would be in the back seat there going, let's see what we can do. Fuel boost switches. All right, let's get in here. I got to kind of refamiliarize myself too. Fuel boost. We need those off. And they are. Ignitions off. batteries. All right. Now, I watched a video on this plane. It's fascinating how the real world ops versus our world ops, they actually have to connect the battery first, which makes sense since this plane isn't probably, unless it's part of NetJets or some group where it does fly a lot, they sit. So they'll disconnect the batteries. Battery 1 and battery 2. Okay, we'll go ahead, clear, clear. You have Austin in the back of your plane. Oh, Lord. Austin, good. I'm giving you a couple of Hail Marys and all. You got a good pilot sometimes. We're all sometimes good pilots. So, all right, avionics. Let's get back down here. On and ECAS on. Is he? I didn't see him the last time I looked. No, he usually sits right in this chair right here. He's already said, I'm out of here. I ain't flying with Mike. Okay, let's get back to this. All right, swinging over. We need the hydraulics, a aux pump on, and nav lights. They are right there. Basically, the nav lights come on in the real world, so you know when you walk, a flight line or a ramp, that aircraft has some kind of power on. Battery, APU, ground power unit. The latter two you should hear unless you're wearing earmuffs. Then you may or may not hear them. That's what that's for. Just a clue to those, to keep them situationally aware. APU generator on. APU master on. APU start. Not Abu, Apu. Abu from Aladdin. Nice sounds. Our passengers, I've been told, have arrived. Wanting to go back to Boca Raton, to Boca. All right, we're up and running. And bleed air on. Okay, cockpit and cab packs on. Finally, tune in the ATIS. All right, let's see. Bear with me a second here. Again, it's been quite a while since we've used this plane. Trying to remember. Is it up front? Where the heck is the audio panel? What I'm looking for, okay, what's not happening here? On XPilot, I'm not getting COM 2. And it's set, as you can see right here, and on mine, but I'm trying to find the audio panel. Okay, it's not there. They hide. Oh, I think they're hiding right here. Okay. Oh, wait. Is it this one? There it is. Okay. So what I did is I basically looked for the little hand, pushed on it. The RX went off X pilot, pushed on it, and then rolled it till it was turned all the way up. All right. Last thing we need to set up, squawk. Bear with me again. Actually, I think, yeah, I was going to say. Try that again. Just going to blow it up to make it easier. Squawk code was 4504. And believe me, I debated whether or not to use VATSIM on this flight, and I thought, well, maybe someone may join, so let's help them out. Okay, I'm going to just kind of go out of norm and leave it like that. Okay, radios are set. Autopilot is disengaged oxygen fuel plan. All right, flight plan, here we go. Here's, to me, the hardest part. And yes, I am going to make it bigger. Okay, so 28 May active till 11 June, so we got a little bit. Pause it. Let's load. Flight plan. Okay, MYAM KBCT 01. Activate. All right, currently planning runway 9er. And there's no METAR data, so guess what? Oh no, what do we do? Oh, call off the flight? Okay. No. That's wild, we don't have one. What kind of departures do we have? That won't work. Oh, I think that's what they did. Okay, I'm looking at a flight here, or looking at the departures, and I think I know what they did. I think we'll be okay. All right. Okay, departure. Well, let's try one thing. Oh, look, we're safe. The Americans are off the coast. Details, details, and currently 12, that's going to be runway 9. Okay, so runway 9. No, we're not going to do the tunes to, or toonie to departure. Where's Marsh, by the way? Where the heck is Marsh? Yeah, where is it? Over the airport. Ah, okay. All right. No. Runway 9, no departure. Okay, we're going to go Marsh to Prida. Let's look at that real quick. And I know it will cover up the FMC. Okay, here's our airport. Pull back. We're going to come to Prida. That's our arrival on the Mahi 3 arrival. Mahi, Merlin, Frozen. And then we are, well, you know what? Hang on. Before I go that far, is there an actual? They're saying runway 5 on say intentions. Winds are variable at 5. Runway 5. Let's take a look now. Approaches. Okay, so we're coming in. We could go to Atone and fly it in that way. I think that's what we'll do. Runway 5, Atone. So we're going direct from F zone to Atone. Perf next. Just trying to remember, do I, oh. Okay. Next. Fuel gauge reads 4960. That works. All right. This is our takeoff data. Dry. That is to be determined. Flaps. We are taking off on 6100. 28. You know what? Let's flaps 5. There's our V speeds. Arrival to runway 5. RNA. Oh, wait. Star first. Mahi 3. Prida. RNAV. Atone, right? Atone. All right, let's look at it. Mahi, Merlin. Let's see, can I? Noise. All right, there we go. Okay, so runway 9, Marsh, Prida. Then Mahi, Merlin, F zone, Uspa, Fijo, Tana, and there you go. And you all got to see it. Didn't get to see some of what I did in the box, but for the most part, we are ready to go. Departure. 9, we've already done that. Flight plan. Nav, departure, no. Performance, there's what I want. Takeoff, confirm, 124, 126, 138. Oh, and I did see something in the flight plan. Alternate. KMCO. Okay, it won't take. All right, that's all I wanted to know. Okay. Next up is V-speeds, warning tests. Okay, warning tests are kind of fun. Hang on, which one is it? This one? Yeah. And base, oh no, it's right up here, I'm sorry. And it just, you go through each one. Okay. And there's your test. All right, we're ready to crank up. Hydraulics checked and readied. All looks good. Startup, all right. Oh wait, we need our, do we even get a, 2997. Okay, minimums to 400. There's our routing. Okay, over here, MFD. Okay. I'm going to leave it right there. Final. Now this, as you all have heard from the C90, I'm not a huge fan of this, but it is what it is. Okay. All right, I think we're ready to start. Seat belts. Brakes, chocks, throttles, okay. You know, I say this and this plane always changes and makes it unique. Get the door up. Here we go. Okay, fuel boost. Going to on. Okay, and environmental packs off. All makes sense. All right. It wasn't supposed to bring both up, but it does. Sometimes I can get it to where it will only do the one. Okay, same thing. All right, we are set. Now, by the way, this is your external power switch, so you do have that ability. Okay, environmental packs can now come back on. All right, engine gauges checked, left and right. Whoops. Generators coming on. Hydraulic A off. Okay, APU bleed off. And I think we're shutting the APU to stop. Okay, center wing transfer. They go into norm or on norm? Okay. Pressure set. And I think that, hang on. Taxi instructions, bearing, or FMS. Okay. Basically, which button are we pushing? For now, we'll leave it as is. Okay, pre-takeoff checks, taxi lights on, pitot heats left and right on. Pitot. Windshield to low or normal. Flaps, we said 5. Always forget it's here. Okay, and trim 5.4 recommended. Okay. And left engine bleed on. Oops. Taxi lights are below the throttles. Since we are facing east, guess what that means? Correct. We have to turn around. Oh, we don't have a way out. I thought we did. Okay, we gonna turn again. Now, the only thing we have not set yet is our altitude. We'll do that before entering the runway. And yes, there is a terminal here, so if you want to fly here, more than welcome to. See if I can do this rather quickly. Okay, out we go. Sorry, checking my surfaces as we go. All right, here we go. Hit the taxiway and get on down there. Okay, final checks underway. Landing strobes, and we're ready to go. Okay, got my checklist. Okay, gear, autopilot, and flight director. Oh. Marsh Harbour traffic, NetJet 750 departing 9 for Boca. Okay, just going through it real quick after takeoff gear. Autopilot, flight director, flaps, climb power, oil pressure, fuel boost, normal. Here we go. Okay, hang on a second. Let's get our nose down. See how that works. All right, we are airborne. That's actually, I don't know, many of you who watched me fly this plane before, how'd that seem to you? A lot better than most of the time. Let's see if she'll come on the course. Looks like she is. Good deal. Nav GPS working here. All right, we're going to be leveling off here pretty quick. All right, climb. Seatbelt signs at 10,000, cabin pressure, pitot heat as required, altimeter. Okay, we're doing good. And fuel boost to normal. Okay, I still think that went pretty good. 124 miles top of descent. Actually, we have 0 altitude restrictions other than the base of 5,000. That's as low as we should be going. Okay. Okay, let's see here for 100 miles. Descent, we'll set transmit. Okay, we're looking good. Oh, yeah, let's be kind to our... Okay, so far so good. Cross Prida at 5,000. If you didn't catch that. And they're saying 2995, so we probably need to start. I'm going to go ahead. Step 1, set 5,000. I was hoping for a descent button, but there isn't. Okay, and our RNAV approach minimum 271. All right. There we go. Okay, now my phone's charging. There we go. All right, we're through 18,000, so back over here. All right, we're about 10 minutes out, so we've got our passengers getting back in their seats as we prepare for approach into the land of money, Boca Raton, Florida. Yeah, it looks like we got a pretty good crowd for this one. The Citation 10 is one of those that kind of attracts a crowd. And we appreciate you. Thank you so much. And here's 10,000 feet. Okay, here we go. Folks, if you want to put a prediction in, it's the exclamation mark, uh, predict space and a negative number. See who gets the closest here. We have slowed into the 240, at or around below 10,000 feet. The landing lights, I'm going to go ahead turn on. However, they're not visible. They are on the nose gear. Although the wing lights are. So I hope you've all had a fantastic week. We're slowly wrapping up. This Sunday, we're flying in Africa. Or Saturday, my bad. Saturday's weekly flight this week will be in Africa, rejoining a tour we haven't done in about the same amount of time as flying this plane. So I hope you enjoy that. Time permitting, who knows? We might fly something else. Other than that, I don't really have a lot of announcements this week. Like I said, I've been pretty well beat all week long. It's just getting used to, well, not getting used to, it's just that holiday just really made it hard on me. And that's, that's fine. I'm not used to holidays off, used to days off, not holidays. And it's been a while, so my body's trying to recoup. Plus, we've been doing some pretty, some fun driving at work of some distance, and that too is, helping to tire me out. So add to it the 4 o'clock in the morning wake up call, which I know I can hear you all going, oh, boo hoo, boo hoo. But you know, it's just doing its thing on me. So yeah, we'll get back in the swing of things. Just takes me time. May you do better at 60 and older. All right, I'm going to pull back some power here. All right, we're about to enter the Twilight Zone. No. Some would say Florida might qualify. Sorry, couldn't resist. The Floridia could be that way. You know, part of me would love to shoot a visual here. Part of me's like, yeah, no, let's just shoot the RNAV. All right. So, all right, the current situation here, still a variable wind at 5 knots. You know what? Instead of reading, those of you on Twitch, here it comes. Oh, 4,500. Okay. We'll enjoy that. All right, let's get ready to put a little power to the plane. Goal is not to stall out before the wheels touch the ground on the runway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're seated, seatbelts on, tray tables up. We're about 5 minutes from landing. So, but yeah, it's been a fun week. Let's just put it that way. I've enjoyed the trips. They have been fun. Today especially. So I would love to do more of these. Oh, but anyway, that's work. That's not what we're here for. We're here to fly with Mike, relax and enjoy. And again, as I've stated in the past, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. No. No, seriously, you may want to choose a different, it's not, flying isn't for everyone. I'm going to say that again and again and again. It's fun. It's relaxing to many. To some, it is just the hardest thing in the world. And I will be totally honest with y'all. I wish I could get back in the air. Oh, crud. I forgot to check something. Okay. Oh, that was perfect timing. And I'm going to give it just a little more fuel in those engines. Okay, the auto ATC said 5,000 at Fix Prita, then Mahi, Merlin, Maverick, no, sorry, couldn't resist. Merlin, and then F-Zone. We're flying now. For those kind of curious where Boca is, Fort Lauderdale Airport is south of us, Palm Beach north of us. So we're sandwiched, not down by Miami. I mean, we're close, but we're not there. But yet we're not outside the Miami metroplex. Boca is just up the coast. I actually used to think it was further south, down towards Homestead and the Keys. Lo and behold, I got it wrong. That is not supposed to happen. All right, so we're going to dial down and hold 5,000. Yes, we adjusted time a couple of hours just so we get a daylight flight. And with a 4,500 overcast sky or broken, well, it may have not mattered anyway. We may not see much. So, all right, we are coming over Prita, making the turn. Pull some go-go juice out of those engines and truck on or fly on to Merlin. What a beautiful day to fly. It always is in Florida. That's why some of the top schools for flying are in Florida. Embry-Riddle leading the way up there in Daytona. It's kind of nasty today, cloudiness-wise. But we should, in a quick descent, get under it, so maybe it'll turn into something pretty nice. We'll see. We'll start our descent at Atone, I believe. We'll probably start down to 2,000. Nice and easy. I know a lot of flight simmers love this speed demon, and like I told you in the beginning, it is a speed demon. If you can't figure it out, it's a small airplane with two huge engines on the back. Yeah. It will get you in trouble if you're not careful. Many a pilot have lost their wings. Okay, Miami Tower has come up. However, they're not what we're looking for. Okay, I am going to set 2,000. And we're about to start our descent to 2,000. All right, we are descending for Atone, I think it is. Atone, A-T-O-N-E. Then it's Uspa, Feyo, Fefo, sorry, and then Amite, and then the runway. I'm going to go ahead, slow us to 240. Looks like we're getting down there a lot quicker than planned. That's why I backed off like I did. Okay, we're about to atone. Right, we're going to go ahead and arm up the spoilers, I hope.
Fort Lauderdale traffic, Swamp 93, Phenom 300 is on 10 mile final for Bay and 10 right. Fort Lauderdale traffic.
Okay, atone coming up. Okay, we should be turning for the runway. Let's go ahead and begin to slow to 180. Boca Raton traffic, NetJets 750 on the RNAV off Atone, runway 5. Okay, we got traffic a little below us. Let's see. Not gonna see them. Kind of glad we went ahead and took the RNAV. And Boca Raton traffic, NetJets 750 over Tana, final approach fix, runway 5. I got the runway. We're going to let the plane help us out a lot.
1,000.
121. Okay. I had Airbus in my head. 130. All right, now it's a clear picture.
$500. 400.
Boca traffic, Citation 750, 3-mile final. Correction,
300.
short final.
Minimums. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
'Welcome to Boca, folks, and the land of money. Okay, after landing, okay, spoilers. Apu. All right, where do we want to park? Okay, let's shut it down. 3, let's go over here, bleed air on. Okay, generators, bleed air on, fuel. Checked, good. Okay, so shutting the big engines down. We'll see how easy that is. Should be. Should be like, a little easier than that. But anyway, we're in Boca Raton. Welcome. We're just going to finish things off. Let's see. Avionics. Generators. Kind of don't like the way they go about the general shutdown. There we go. Again, welcome to Boca Raton. Fun little flight. Everything seemed to work pretty decent on the plane. And we got 200 feet a minute. Wow. Really? At 113. I'll take it. It kind of felt a little greasy, but you never know the way sims work themselves out. All right, so with that, let's bring Elevatech in real quick. Okay, you can see our flight, pretty simple. Just as planned, right into here. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Whoop, let's get our flight. Okay, one more look at it. Now, how'd we do? Well, being it's not a precision runway, it's hard to tell. 1,000 feet there. I'm going to say about 2,000, maybe less down the runway. Unfortunately, that's the best we can do with what we have. Some of the other ACAR systems and all would tell us. Matter of fact, you know what? I thought I started Mac Air and I didn't. Oh well. Hey, it was fun. Does not matter if we got credit for it or not. We had a blast. I am really thinking I did not set the time. Let's find out. I did. I don't know what happened. It seems like sunset here. Maybe it's just the way the clouds are. But yeah, that's interesting. All right, well, darn it. Oh well. Not sure Mac Air would have given us the numbers anyway of how far down, how far off the center. Looked like center line landing at about 1,700 feet, maybe 2,000. So that's not bad. 6,000 I think we had to work with here. Yeah, 6,200 feet. So great flight. I hope you enjoyed. Again, Saturdays normal or weekly flights still as of right now on schedule. We're going to be flying in Africa, picking up a tour we've kind of also let sit for a while. Let's get back into it and get that working for legs, or the second part of it completed. All right, y'all, I hope you enjoyed. From the Bahamas to Boca Raton. And we'll see you all for sure Saturday. And if we're up to it, we'll try tomorrow, but no guarantees. So, Hawker, welcome in. Yes, BizJet, hype. You missed it. Kind of like Mac Air. They missed it too, because I forgot. You've been lurking and watching. That's awesome to hear, Hawker. We always appreciate you. All right. Y'all have a great night. I am going to try and get a little bit of shut-eye and get back at it maybe tomorrow night. Maybe, well, for sure Saturday. So we'll see you then. Hey, you all have a fantastic Friday, and we'll see you then. God bless.